So I just got my gold anniversary edition of Quests from the Infinite Staircase and just wanted to show you all a few things about it, mostly stuff that I'm super excited about. The first thing I want to talk about is the box itself. So this box is something that we haven't done before. We wanted to really try something different. This box the outer box has like a wrap around it, showing one of the doorways of the infinite staircase. And when you open the doorway, and this is magnetized, so it has a nice clasp to it, but when you open the doorway, you then reveal the box. And here's the box, and I don't know if you can see this, but it has a nice gloss to it. And what we wanted to do with this wrap is, rather than just having it be decorative, we thought, well, how can we make it useful? So we designed an infinite staircase battle map to be on the inside of the wrap. All right, as always, maps are a huge part of our boxes. And for this gold edition, we put the maps in this soft, like pleather case. I don't know if you can see that cool design. It has a really nice feel. It has a little clasp here. We did something similar in Phandelver, and I personally like this case. It allows me to put more than maps in here when I'm driving to someone's house to play D&D. I can put the book that I'm using, the DM screen, some handouts, whatever I'm using for that night, I can put in here. It doesn't have to be just for holding all of the maps, but for this box, it does hold all of the maps. And in this one, we have some really cool player maps in here. We also have, this box required a lot of appended DM maps. So there are a lot of big dungeon crawls where, for me, I find it really helpful to look at this and just know at a glance, like, basically what's in each room. Okay, so there are monsters here, here, and here. So if my players are here, I can at a glance know, like, who's hearing what's right around the corner. So I find these super helpful. And like I said, there's a lot of dungeon crawls in this book. A lot of great dungeons. So we did a lot of those for this product. Now, because there are so many huge dungeon crawls, look, we cannot do commissioned big battle maps for the entire thing. That would be impossible. So what we do, we go through those adventures and we say, okay, which rooms have the boss fights? Which rooms have the biggest battles, the most important battles, and also have interesting rooms that are going to look interesting on a battle map. And then we go out and do those battle maps. We have a ton of battle maps in this box. So if you like battle maps, there's going to be a ton of these. Now, the battle maps included are all listed on our webpage. So if you want to know exactly what you're getting, go and check that out. Because yes, it is not every single map in the entire adventure. That would be impossible. But for example, here is a battle map that comes from Barrier Peaks. And you can see it has sort of a sci-fi feel. And it has the gymnasium and the workout room. Hopefully not too many spoilers here. But it also has the theater. So that's a really cool map. Here's another one. Let's grab this one. Love this one. This is the Haunted Cavern. And you can see that we picked an area of this map that we knew there was going to be an important battle, and was also visually interesting, right? We want maps that when you unfold them, you're like, oh, that's cool. Look at that detail. And as you're moving your minis around, you're inspired to use that map. So I'm not going to flip through every map, but that's just sort of like, you can see there are a lot of maps in here. Again, it's not everything. We have to pick and choose, but hopefully when you see the list, you're like, yes, those look fun. I am in. Let's just look at some of the elements that come in this box. Some of the elements that I'm super excited about. In Beyond the Crystal Cave, one of the things the characters have to do is they have to find these leaf tokens that they have to place into a sundial. in order to move on to the next part of the adventure. What we've done here is we've given you the sundial, and we've given you the leaf tokens that fit into each slot on this sundial. So as they're moving around and finding pieces, you can actually hand them the leaf that they found, have the sundial on the table, and let them fill those in. And this is the coin of completion. This is something that we're known for. You can use this as a inspiration token or give out to your players once they've completed the adventure. Now in Barrier Peaks, there's this really interesting, you have to get through the doors in the dungeon using these door keys. And we have created those door keys that you can hand to your players. Remember, this is like a spaceship. And there are all of the different colored keys that they need in order to get from area to area within Barrier Peaks. So we give you those to hand to the players as they move around. In the Lost City, there are factions that have tattoos, and your characters might decide to join or side with one of those factions. And so we give you the temporary tattoos that your players can put on their shoulder or whatever other body part they decide. I'm super excited about the bonus encounters that we have in this box. These are the quests from the Infinite Staircase, Infinite Tales. And there are 3 bonus encounters. One of them that I wrote is the Island of Death. Super excited about that one because it connects the first adventure to the end of the adventures in a really interesting way. I'm not going to say any more, but I recommend that you check that out. And then we have 2 other adventures that were written by very talented writers, by the way. Super excited to be working with them. We have technology cards, something we've never done before, but Barrier Peaks absolutely requires it. So these are pieces of technology that you find along the way and that you're likely going to hold on to for a while. And each one shows you what that piece of technology does, but it also allows you to track the charges that that item has. We also have art broken out. We've got the books. We've got encounter cards. We have, this box has a ton of in-world handouts. I'm not gonna go through them all, but a lot of them are found in Pharaoh. There are a lot of hieroglyphs that have to be translated, and once your characters translate them, you can hand these handouts to them so that they can keep track of the story as they go, rather than trying to remember it all, because there's a lot there. So super excited about those. Oh, I love this piece. This piece has the little like real rip marks. I love those little details. Here's an item that we put in the book that we've never done anything like this before. But because this was the Gold Anniversary Edition, we felt like we needed something that harkened back to the original adventures, something with some nostalgia value. So what we did is we worked with our designers to create a fictional 1980s DM's adventure logbook. And the adventure logbook not only is going to give you that 1980s feel with the pieces inside, but it's also going to, remind you of what those original adventures were. And throughout the book, there are little DM notes. And the idea of these DM notes is to not only comment on the adventures, but give you, the DM, some inspiration and ideas on ways to make items a little more personal, maybe raise the stakes a little more, some ideas on how to run certain encounters. So there is a practical value to this, in addition to the nostalgia value that it brings. This is really cool. I think you're going to have a really fun time just sort of flipping through this, reading the notes. It's a pretty hefty piece, but it's a lot of fun.